Hey everyone, it's Brenda with Stampin' Up. Today I thought I would do a little video for you with some of my favorite Stampin' Up products. A lot of these products have replaced other items that I had been buying and using, and some of which I have gotten rid of, and others I still have and not sure when I'm going to get rid of, or maybe planning to get rid of. Just depends on what it is. So let me get started and show you what I'm talking about. The first thing is the colors, the ink, the re-inker, the paper cardstock, and the markers, alcohol markers. I used to buy my products like at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I bought cheap ink, and usually when you buy a cheap ink pad, which I don't have any to show you because I got rid of them all, they don't come with a re-inker. So when you buy a Stampin' Up pad, if you buy the re-inker, this pad will last you for practically ever, because all you have to do if it starts getting dry, you re-ink it with the inker and it will stay good for years and years to come. I have some pads in my stash that are very old. I started buying them in 2013, so 10 years old, and some of them haven't even been re-inked. They're very good pads. So that is one thing that I have replaced. I don't have any cheap pads anymore. I love the cardstock. The cardstock is so much better than stuff that I was buying before. I know that my camera is a little too low to show very well, but this is a cheap piece of cardstock that I had been buying, and it is just really flimsy. I don't know what the poundage is, but this is the Stampin' Up. I mean, it hardly wiggles. It's very thick, and so it makes really good card bases. And the other beauty is that all of these items match perfectly. You have the paper, you have the ink, the markers, and then of course they make DSP that goes along with it and matches perfectly. There's all different kinds of DSP that comes with coordinating colors. So let me just show you something about these markers. They are a little expensive, but if you're into any kind of alcohol markers, you know they're all expensive. I originally bought these markers at Hobby Lobby, and they were still probably $3 each. And the Stampin' Up comes in a set. You get a light color and a dark color, and it's the same color. So these are polished pink. So let me just show you how they work. Not really how they work, more like how they look. All right. So this is the light polished pink. You have a small end and a larger end. All right. And then you have the darker color. You have the small end and the bigger end. All right. See how that shade is just, it's really the same color. It's just a different shade. I know my video is not probably picking this up that great, but you can kind of see when you compare it to the paper. All right. Now these colors that are, they weren't meant to go together, I think. But if you look at them, you think, oh yeah, well, those will go together. Well, wait till you see this. They're so much alike, it's not even funny. But you would think that they would go well together. They're hard to get the caps off, for one. All right, there's the light. The thing I do like about these are they have these really wide ends. This is really great for going around the edge of cards. That covers a lot, but you can't really color in an image with these because they're too big. And then this one. All right, and they're almost the same color. So it was kind of a waste of money to get both of these, even though they look completely different. The colors, sorry if that's not focusing. They look like they would coordinate, but they're really, I don't know. I think they're just too much alike. Um, anyway, that's that. You don't have to spend the money on them, but that's what I like them. I like them a lot better than these, but I haven't gotten rid of these yet. So that was one thing. While I'm talking about ink, let me show you the blocks. These are another thing that I definitely think is worth spending the money on Stampin' Up. These are very nice, nice thick blocks. Okay, they've got a grippy, so they're easy to use, hold on to. They're thick enough that it's harder to get your fingers in the ink. All right. I don't have all of them, but I do have quite a few. And but I do have some other ones that I do keep and use. I'm not going to say what the brands are, but this is also kind of good because it's easy to use and it's thick. And this one as well. And this one's a good one as well. But these are definitely worth spending money on. I don't have my cheap blocks. I bought some from Hobby Lobby that were really thin. They did have the grid on them, which I liked, but they were horrible. I kept getting my fingers in the ink. These are definitely worth the investment, in my opinion. So that is another favorite of mine. Okay, let's talk about another ink, okay, which is Memento. I just started buying Memento ink. I have been a big fan of VersaFine, and I have used this for quite a few years. I love it. It stamps very nice and clean. But when you're going to use alcohol markers, Memento is so much better because you can just color right over that ink and it's not going to smear. This does smear a little bit. It's not, but it kind of almost bleeds. You have to be very careful with it. So I have recently become a huge fan of the Memento, and I definitely recommend that for a black ink. Then when you're going to clean off your stamps, I recommend this Simply Chamois. You can put it into a case, and I like the fact that it's thick. It's like a foam pad. I like to use it, and then when I'm done for the day, I open the case and I leave it and I let it dry. And then when I'm going to go to use it again, I fill it with water and I squeeze it out and rinse it out, and that keeps it smelling fresh. If you close it up in your case and just leave it, it's going to start stinking, and it just gets so icky. And so I try to keep it clean. And I did have this that I used to use before I found the chamois, and it works pretty well, but it's so big that you can't keep it wet. So it would dry out super fast, and every time I needed it, I had to go run it in the sink and wet it again. And so this is great because it fits right in the Stampin' Up cases. And so here is how it comes. It's much smaller. It gets a little bigger when you put water on it. It's $8.50, and it's in the annual catalog. So that is another favorite. Then, of course, I think this is my last item. No, two more items I have. While we're talking about stamping is the Stamparatus. So this is $49. It comes with two of these panels. All right. I should have cleaned this before I did my video. It does come with two magnets, but I broke mine. So if you buy a Stamparatus, be super, super careful with these magnets. Do not let them touch because they clang together and they break. You can buy replacements though. So the Stamparatus actually replaced, I had bought the Tim Holtz. Okay. This thing is big and bulky. It doesn't have a foam pad underneath. I didn't think that it worked very well. I like the concept. to change over what you have, you've got this, you use this side for clear stamps, and then you flip it around for the rubber, okay? But I just really was not very impressed with it. I did use it for Christmas cards so that I could stamp them and have them all exactly the same. But I decided to try the Stamparatus, and I absolutely love this, and I use it all the time. So the thing that I like about this is it's smaller for one. It doesn't take up nearly as much space in your craft. I don't have a lot of crafting space. That's why things are always falling off into my viewing area while I'm making a video. But anyway, you can put stamps on both of these and do one and do another. You can change it around if you wanted to do continuous stamping along a page. You can actually just move this down and stamp again and move it down again, stamp it again, and you can have multiple images. This comes with this foam pad, which you use with the clear stamps, and you take it out for the rubber stamps. You can also purchase a deluxe mat for $6 with the grid on it. And then you can keep this one. I like to use these for using my blocks because you do need something underneath the polymer sometimes. Sometimes you can get them to stamp well without a pad, sometimes you can't. So I like to use a pad underneath. So that is my other favorite, the Stamparatus. And that has replaced my Tim Holtz stamping platform, which I am actually going to be getting rid of this spring when I have a crafting garage sale. I'm getting rid of a ton of stuff. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is this Take Your Pick tool. This is definitely one of my favorites. It has replaced this little thing I had a long time ago, and it is so much better. It is sturdy. This thing is all plastic. I don't know if you can see the end of that. It's gotten all warped. It had the little pokey thing, which has kind of got a hook on it now. Look at the gooey end. It's all melting. It's just not really that great. So the Take Your Pick tool comes with the sticky end that you can pick up little pieces and rhinestones and things like that. If you've seen my videos, you've seen me use it. This one is the pokey end. Now this comes out, and on the other side is a little, a little scraper, so you can scrape things off if you have to just scrape something off. Sometimes my dies get stuck to my plate, and that will just take it right off. Actually, the pokey end will as well. But it also comes with an extra sticky end, and it comes with a scoring tool. So if you wanted to use it as a scoring tool, you just put that on and you do your scoring. So you have the small end and the bigger end. And you can also purchase, I do not have it, I forgot to write down the price of it, but you can order an end like this that will go on the end of your Take Your Pick tool. If you don't know what this is to get the little pieces out of your dies when you have the dies that all the pieces get stuck into, like this. I've got a few little pieces stuck in there. So what you do is you take the pad. Now I've misplaced the pad. Okay, here it is. It comes with a foam. When you get the end that goes on this, I'm pretty sure I bought this from Stampin' Up. It says Sizzix, but I'm pretty sure I bought it from Stampin' Up. So the end actually just goes on here now instead of having this, and it comes with two of these little pads. And you take your die and you just run this along like that. And look at the little pieces all come out. That's what that's for. So if you see that in the catalog, That's what that's for. I didn't get the end because I figured I already have this one, so I didn't need to really replace it. And I think that is it for today. I just wanted to show you some of my favorite little items. Um, don't forget my March hostess code, and thank you again for everyone who ordered last month. And I will be hopefully getting another video out in a couple days. Have a great day. Bye bye.